forward. My season to reign, season to shine. I level up. I say pick up your mentor.
Hello everybody, Pastor Priscilla here. Welcome to Level Up Show. We're still continuing with our dating service, and today I just want to make clear certain things. We're going to speak about the myths of dating, because I know some of us are so tapped into those myths that maybe we make mistakes here. Now, last week we had an incredible time, and I just thought, let me share more and go deep, and I hope you're enjoying the series. Please don't forget to subscribe Priscilla Mathebula on YouTube. I still want you to get updated about the series. It's very interesting. And like the page Level Up on Facebook, because this is where we're going to be breaking it down. So, like she always says, she doesn't rob you of any information. And I wanted to tackle myth number 1. God has a special somebody for me. God has one special person for me. Now, I know that this is what we normally say, or we are taught in church. You know, among the believers, we normally say that there's that one person for me, and there's this word that the world mostly uses, that like a soulmate. There's that one person, special person that God has will bring into your life, or you two will like cross paths and you realize that it was just meant to be. This is the only person, and hey, guess what? I will not be attracted by any opposite sex, just my husband or my wife all the way. Wow, you see, that is very good. There's really no scriptural part of this, you know, and we say it because probably when we are so in love and this special person satisfies us in every way, we just feel like this is the person for me. But I want you to know that there's no scriptural grounds that support this, and I understand that we love the verse where Adam sees Eve and he's already attracted, and he says, bones of my bones, you know. It's good that he said that, but we need to realize that even in that, Adam has made a decision. He has made a choice of whom he wants to be married to, or who he wants to spend the rest of his life to. The idea of Mr. Right, the ideal partner type of thing, it's not really out there. You have your own opinion and I have mine, but I don't believe that there is that, you know. There's many reasons that I can bring across to you, but I think I'm just going to give out to the ones that I believe I believe in. And let's look at this, because I'm speaking from even an experience of being a married person. You do get attracted to the opposite sex. You do get attracted even if you're married. Now, I want to help someone, because most of you think that if I get married, there are certain things I would not get to do, you know. If I'm married to this person, I will not fall into certain temptations. Marriage does not change your character, or all of it, let me say. So I will even encourage you, if you know that you're lacking some ways, do seek counseling even before you say I do. Seek counseling in your courting phase of relationship, even in the marriage. But I would say as an individual as well, it's important that you do seek counseling, so that you do not think that marriage will stop you from cheating. If you love to change partners, you love to change partners. So marriage does not stop that. And marriage does not stop you from being attracted to the opposite sex. There are people who are happily married until one of the partner goes overseas for business trips and they get attracted to a certain woman. But you see, that there's nothing wrong with that. It's so natural, I promise you. There's nothing wrong being attracted to the opposite sex. But I know there's that guilt that come. You see, it's natural. But it's not really about that. It's about how do you handle that situation. You know, do you commit to what you have chosen, not what God has chosen for you. You see, so you need to decide that you are going to commit to what you choose. I mean, I can be riding a BMW, but when I see a Jeep pass by, I like it. Like, oh, that's a beautiful car. You see, so I cannot go around closing my eyes and making sure that I don't fall in love with any other car. And guys, you also need to realize that before you were born, there were still male and female here on earth. So don't think that you are going to be born and not see any other person attractive, or the opposite sex attractive. And people are deceived by this myth. They get married and believe that they have a perfect partner. it's fine if you believe that you have a perfect partner, but my question will also be around if the person that you're married to dies and the word of God allows you to get married, what happens? Was that person not your soulmate and this one is your soulmate? So you also need to look into that. I will say to you that this is part of life, but there isn't any soulmate. God does not place a special person for you, because if God does that, it means God is violating your will. God would have violated Adam's will if he said, take this woman. He didn't. Adam chose Eve, and they got into whatever, it's a marriage relationship whatsoever. But you see what happens? God honored his decision. I would even say God was aware of it, he honored it, and somehow he confirmed it. But what he didn't do is choose. Because you see, I chose to be with my husband. Any man could have came to me. Any man could have been suitable for me. I think that's another word I want to use. Any man can be suitable for me. Any woman can be suitable for my husband. But in all those suitable people, my husband chose me. In every suitable guy, I mean, there's certain interests that I could share with a certain guy that I don't share with my husband. But even in all that, I chose to be with him, not God. So it means even whatsoever happens, I cannot blame God. He doesn't violate my will. He didn't violate his will. You see, and let me just go further and say, then according to my choice, I believe that I have found a perfect partner. According to my choice, I believe that I have found an ideal or the right partner. According to my choice, you see. So we need to make it very clear there, because I want to even speak to people who have been through this, because sometimes there's situations or matters that happen in the church where even pastors will choose a partner for you and say, you belong to who? Because you share a certain profession that's the same or around the same line, or because you're a worship leader and she's a worship leader, they match you guys. I would say that is not a good thing to do. You see, let God help you in this, not man, guys. You know, when it comes to love, it can destroy you or it can build you up. Okay, so pastors do have an influence here as well, and I don't want to say they only have a negative influence, but they can also be a positive one. Where, like for me, in my life, I did go to my pastor. I spoke to him about this guy. He has not met him. He doesn't know him. He actually met my husband on the day of the wedding, you know. And the beautiful part of it is when he prayed for us and he gave me a word from God about our marriage. But you see, he was not there. He does not know anything about this guy, except that I told him there's a man in my life that I feel I want to spend the rest of my life with. And I'm going to be honest, the very same man I call my pastor, when I got into a wrong relationship, or the relationship that I should have not been into, he was able to come, and still he had not seen the man. You see, so I'm the one who's making decisions here. You see, he doesn't choose for me. I don't even think he cares that much to want to choose for me or match me with anybody. So I would say that be careful when you are being matched with someone. The same people who are your spiritual overseers, they also guide you into saying, no, this cannot be. Because you see, as pastors, God has placed us for men. You know, we lead men, we oversee them, we are the spiritual parents. But and here's the thing, we can know that person more than you do. So the good thing is that when you let us know, we know when it's not, you know, because you could find, let me say, you come to me and say you want to marry Temba, or you in love with Temba. But Temba came to me yesterday and he's saying he's getting married down the line. Now, if you keep that to yourself, you are falling in love with Temba until you see him at the altar waiting for his woman. So somehow it helps to seek advice from pastors. And I pray that you have a pastor that is very faithful to just be honest and true with you, not by your face, and just in love correct you when there's need and rebuke where there is need, you see. But at most, just take care of you like a sheep and a shepherd. You know how that relationship is so powerful. So we are not going to blame it to God. This is just all about choice and commitment. It goes hand in hand, choice and commitment. I chose my husband, and therefore I choose to commit to him. Not that I'm not going to be attracted by any other man, But even in that, I choose to be committed to the one I have decided on. You see, I choose to be committed to the one I have decided on. The next thing is that God chooses a person He wants me to marry. I think it's along the same line. We spoke about God having a special somebody that He has appointed for you, but this one again is God chooses the one you marry. Guys, I've heard this saying that I've had a vision. I've had a vision. The Lord showed me this is the man I have to spend my life with. If you've had that personal vision, my question will also be, did God show him? Or did God show her as well? Just like He showed you. You see, it has to go together. God is not a God of confusion. So, and at most I would say, do not entertain those things. When you find yourself going through such a dream, really, really be sure if it's the Spirit of God, you see, because the enemy also can bring distraction. Sometimes in the house of God, you find people are just attracted to one another. That does not mean that you should be in a relationship. Or there's this word, have a crush on each other. That does not mean fall for a relationship. It's the mistakes that we do, because flesh can attract flesh. You see that good-looking guy or that lady who dresses all up and good-looking and beautiful, looking like your future wife type of thing. It's fine, but don't fall into the trap of thinking that's the woman you should get married to, because even appearance can cost you, guys. Even appearance can cost you. Now, when it comes to choosing a mate, God will give us guidance. Maybe that's the solution. God will not choose who you should marry, but God can give you guidance. That's where He comes in. God can give you guidance. God can give you wisdom. Now, God may bring a suitable person in our path, but what He doesn't want to do or He does not do is choose for you. Look, if you're in the country right now and you cross paths with a lady that you love so much, and you go overseas, you would go for business or maybe for studies, and you happen to stay there, it's a scholarship whatsoever, and you find another mate that suits you. My question would be, don't you think that's you choosing who you want to spend your life with? I want to go back to this thing. God is not a God of confusion. So I don't want us to speak like Adam and say, it's the woman you gave me. No, it's the woman you chose. When you looked at your interests, when you looked if you match spiritually, your soul and body, you checked, can I be in oneness with this person? That is for you to choose, guys. That God will not violate your will. He doesn't do that. So He guides you, He gives you wisdom, and He directs you. Only if you ask Him to do so. Because most people do not even bother to ask God. I love my husband so much, but I had to hear from the Lord, Father, do you think this man can bring out the best in me? If that's what I love. God, do you think I can be able to fulfill your plan for my life with this man? Because for me, it was more of, I don't want to spend the rest of my life with someone that can take me out of the will of God, because that's what matters with me, you see. So sitting down, I had to pray, Lord, can this be the man that I can serve you well with, you see, and I can love, I can enjoy time with, because even if it's not about the spiritual things only, but I wanted someone unkaza who's fun, outgoing, loves people, loves jokes, and that's what my husband is, even till today. Yesterday I was just looking at him and like, yo, and I couldn't imagine being with someone else, you see. So, and I like the fact that he's the person that he is. We just gel. We just enjoy each other's company. When he's away, sometimes I have this thing, yo, when are you coming back? I miss you. Because he's my friend, you see. I like that about us. And there are guys that I could have been friends with as well. But there were things that were going to tick me off. I don't know. But there were certain things that I felt, you know what? You are suitable for me, but I do not choose you because of certain things. Or maybe I might not serve God the way I should be. So it's all about what's important to you. Can you take a journey with that person? You see, maybe let me help you there. I'm giving you some wisdom. What's important to you? Can you take a journey with that person? You see? And if it's possible, then pray about it, guys. Pray about it. This is not something that is mystical, or you, I don't know, you fast about. I know some people fast. Some will say, God, show me if tomorrow he comes up wearing a red cap, then I know it's him. That's between you and God, okay? That's between you and God. I will not judge that, because for some it worked, But for me, I would just say that don't try to make it to be God at the end, where he chose for you. You choose and allow God to be part of it. Now there's this scripture as well that says, what God puts together, no man. See, what God puts together. What God puts together. When you have sought for his wisdom and guidance and direction, he puts you guys, then he puts you guys together. But first, you guys have agreed. You have made an agreement. There's you've come to oneness. You have come to an agreement that this is the journey we want to walk before God, and you dedicate your relationship to him. Now, that relationship where God has not put together. There are marriages, guys, that God has not put together. There are marriages where people just did what they knew in their heart that this was not the thing. And the sad part is that this calls for divorce. This calls for divorce. There are people who marry, but they don't take commitment seriously. They think, I can marry, but once I'm tired of this person, I will just cheat. Let me tell you, it then leads to divorce. You've got attracted, then it leads to divorce. Then you find another person, then it leads to divorce because you're attracted to this. But you need to learn to commit to that one person that you have decided about. And I feel like someone may be asking right now, so what if I'm married to this person, but I feel like this is not it, or things are not the way they used to be at the beginning? I would say to you, communication is the best key. I'm hooting for counseling, guys. I want you to go for counseling. But you see, I've seen so much power in just communication. There are certain things that you could have worked out of your marriage, or could have tempered with your happiness whatsoever. So I would say communicate. But now I'm not there because I wanted to just press on the issue of myths. That is there special someone God has appointed for me, that when I get to this varsity, I find him there. But here's the most beautiful thing. When I didn't realize that me and my husband, we both made the same prayer when we went to varsity. We said to God, we promise to serve you with our lives. We will serve you with our lives until it's the right time to be in a relationship. You see, so God honors your decision. You see, we could have gotten married in varsity, but the thing of also deciding, God does not violate that. Do you understand? So I hope you got a lot from that. Those are just the myths. Another myth I know, it's fast before you get married, things like that, guys. It's up to you if you want to go fast. But I'll be honest with you, some do go hungry. There are people who fast 40 days for partners. I don't think that thing is so difficult and stressful like that. I would say to you that while you're still a single person, commit your time to God, commit your finances to God, commit your life to him, you see, until you know that it's time. So the whole fasting thing, it's fine. The thing is, I don't want to discourage you if you've been fasting for 40 days. I don't want to discourage you, but I just want you to know that these things are not as difficult as that. Sometimes it's just that we walk into pressure, an environment of pressure, or we walk into an environment where just everybody around us is married, and we just now want to get married. If you're not ready, you're not ready, And even if you sense the pressure, I would say don't get into the pressure until you know this is what you want. Think about it. Is this what you want to do? And you are not ready to date while you still feel the need to date. If it's still a need, then it's a problem, okay? So I hope you've been blessed with this session of Myths on Dating, your Level Up show with Pastor Priscilla. I'll see you next time, because there I'm going to talk about discerning the right life partner. How do I choose right? Yes, how do I choose right?